Hey, Rob Weissman here, and right now we're going to talk the difference between Google reviews, what a Google local service ad review is, what a Google My Business review is, and best practices for getting those types of reviews. Now, we're going to start with the Google My Business review. What is a Google My Business review? First, we're going to look at what a Google My Business page is. So Google My Business is the page that shows up on Google Maps. See here, we have a client we're working with right now, Dave in Portland, Oregon, and here is his Google My Business page. He's got 21 5-star reviews. It shows up as a location with a pin wherever his office is. You can see this is looks like a Keller Williams office. And if people are on their phones doing a search in Google Maps and they search for a realtor near me and they're in a location near him and his page is sufficiently ranking to appear, then it will show up. Now, we're going to look at how to get the review link for Google My Business ad. Where are we? There we go. So here is our Google My Business Profile Manager, business.google.com/locations. If you have more than one page, you may have them grouped like we do. Otherwise, it'll just show up right here. But we're going to pop open that group, open Real Property Team, and then let's take a look at our Winslow location. So we click the Winslow location. We'll see we're in the home in the dashboard. We're going to scroll down and look for Get More Reviews, a little window like this, and it says Share Review Form. So we click on that, and right there is our link. So we want to open that link and copy it. Right-click it, copy it, and then save that link somewhere that you can access in your notes, something like that. Email it to yourself and name it Google My Business Review link. This is a link that we do want to use to get reviews, and it's an important link to have and to remember where it is. But for now, we're going to set this aside, and we're going to go and take a look at your local service ad reviews. Now, local service ad reviews are a little bit different than Google My Business reviews. First, most of you know what a local services ad is right now, but we're going to go over that anyhow, just in case. Here's a local service ad. When someone searches best realtor or realtor in a certain location, so here we're using Dave as an example in Portland, Oregon, we can see here some realtors pop up. So in our case, we have Dave here, first result. It shows, look, the same. So Dave's local service ad went live yesterday. So we can see he's got 21 5-star reviews here. That matches exactly what he has on his Google My Business page. So what happens is during the setup phase, I'll show you here, during the setup phase, Google will match your local service ad profile to your Google My Business profile. They'll use your email, they use your name, whatever it is. If you're setting up with us, we just tell them exactly what your Google My Business profile is, and they match it directly for us. But here, once they find it, see they've connected the business on Google Maps. It will pull these reviews from Google Maps cosmetically over to Google Local Services. Now, the important thing to note is that those Google My Business reviews don't impact your local service ads ranking as much as a special local service ad review, which brings us right down to this link right here. So we're in the dashboard, ads.google.com, local services, and we see it says get verified reviews. That's the important difference. So we want to take this link here, whatever it is. It may ask you to select a link. If you set up with us, we'll have already done that for you. And we hit copy link to clipboard, and then we're going to save that link in the same place as the Google My Business link, and we're just going to title it Local Service Ad Verified Review Link. So when you're first starting up your local service ad, it will pull, like we said, the Google My Business reviews, but they won't impact the ranking as much. So depending on your market, we want to see you use this link, the verified link, to get 10, 20, 30 new reviews through that link specifically. All right, these reviews will impact your ranking on the local services ads a lot more, and will help you really start generating calls through local service ads. The important thing to note is that unfortunately, as of now, these reviews will not go back to your Google Maps profile. They stay in local services. They don't appear on your Google Maps / Google My Business page. Unfortunate, perhaps this will change at some point in the future, but for now, it just is a situation we have to make a decision when starting up a local service ads to get 10 or 20 reviews using this link, and knowing that right now they won't appear on your Google My Business page, but believe me, it is well worth it to sacrifice getting those 10 or 20 reviews on your Google My Business page in order to increase your rankings in the local service ad search results. Now we're going to talk about a second type or a third type of review, but it's a second type for a local service ad. This is verified client reviews. So what this means is we go into the leads dashboard, and as a lead comes in, gets marked active, gets marked booked, completed, whatever it is, as they go through the life cycle of a lead, you have an option to request a review directly from this page. So for example, I can do this right now. I had a conversation with a caller yesterday. Nothing major, not a major purchase. He's looking for a little bit of land, but I gave him a lot of good information. He's very appreciative. So I asked him, his name was Juan, I asked him if he would be open to leaving us some feedback. So we haven't closed a deal with him or anything like that yet, but I have provided him a service over the phone. So I'm going to open up the profile that I think that call came in from. And I'm going to try to find his profile. So I'm going to have to go into the CRM and check because we do have it marked in our CRM. But what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll mark him as completed, and I'll open up his profile, and then I'll hit up here, I'll hit ask for review directly through the system. So I'll show you what that looks like. It comes up with a thing that says Google can ask for a review. All we need to do is make sure that the person's email is entered. If Google doesn't know their email, it will ask you for their email address. So you enter their email, and then this will send a review request or a feedback request directly from the Google My Business system. It's not going to be coming from you. It'll be coming from Google, and it'll say, hey, please leave a review for the service you received from whatever team. These reviews are the most powerful reviews for your Google Local Service Ads profile. They have the strongest impact on your local service ads ranking. So to recap, we want to start off with the local service link, which was back in here under business verification. We want to start off with this local service ads link to get reviews. And then once we've built up the profile to the point where calls are coming in, we'll be able to switch over to requesting reviews directly from complete clients, directly from clients that have called in. And then we'll stop. So once we have a good flow of calls coming in and we're doing business, we're going to stop using this link for reviews, and we're going to rely on incoming clients to feed the local service ad reviews. And when we're requesting reviews directly from people, we're going to go back to the Google My Business review link so we can build up our reputation on Google My Business and increase our visible ad count on local service ads. Does that make sense? So we have the calls that come in from local service ads. They do a lot to help our rankings on local service ads. And then when we're requesting directly from clients, we'll use the Google My Business link in order to increase our visible amount of reviews on the local service ads and add to our credibility when the ad does appear in the top 2 or 3. Now, a few things that you need to know before you start sending out review request links, whether they be Google My Business, local service ads, whatever it is. If you're sending out a Google review link, you need to know these things. 1, Google does check the IP addresses of the people leaving a review. So an issue you can see is if you get your review link and you hand it out to everyone in your office, and everyone in the office, doesn't matter if they're a different business, whatever it is, let's say you have an office building with 10 floors and you get every single person in every single floor to leave you a review. If they all leave it from the same office, it'll be all the same IP address, and Google will flag that as spam, and those reviews won't show up. So when leaving a local service ad reviews or a Google My Business review, you want it to be from someone's home address. The other thing to know, and it's a common thing that people do, is they'll be part of a statewide networking group or something like that. So they'll send the review link to the networking group, right? That's fine. You can do that. Google will accept those reviews most likely. However, if the IP address that the review is coming from is located farther away from your business location, the review will not have as much of an impact on your local ranking, right? So you want to make sure that you can get a good amount of reviews from people within your market from their home addresses, or their cell phone, or whatever it is, from their home address, so that one, the review doesn't show up as all coming from the same location, and two, the reviews are relatively local to the market you work in. It is a good idea to stage out your review request, especially with the local service ad. We don't want to request, like most people have a relatively limited number of people that they would like to approach to get a review from, right? And you also don't want to just get all your reviews up front in one burst and then have no reviews at all. So we recommend when you're starting a local service ad profile, send out 10, 20, 30 review requests. You may not get so many of those back. You may only get half. You may only get 1/3, depending on your clients. But then every week, go through and send out a new one, add some new people into the list, re-add the old people, and just sort of keep cycling it. You want to try to get a steady stream of new reviews. The more frequent your reviews are, the more recent your reviews are, the more they will help your profile stay fresh and stay high in the rankings. I hope this has helped. If you have any specific questions, something I didn't cover, or you're unsure about as far as getting reviews goes, reach out. You know where to find us. Take care.